It's always Gold FM for us at Golden Point, Raki Raki.
Gold FM is #1 in Lusaka.
Gold FM is Nandi's best radio station.
It's always Gold FM with us here in Singatoka.
Old is gold, and Gold FM is #1 here in Lusaka.
Singatoka loves classic hits on Gold FM.
We listen to Gold FM here in Tagua.
We love Gold FM in Ba.
We've got beautiful beaches, people, and Gold FM in Raki Raki.
Lautoka loves the classic hits on Gold FM.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Tonight, Vorenge and Bainimarama overwhelmed by support in the Western Division. NGOs need Electoral Commission sanction. And police seek help from Interpol to investigate hard drugs cases. Good evening, I'm Jackie Spate and this is FBC News. It was yet another busy day for Vorenge Frank Bainimarama of the proposed Fiji First, as thousands of people around the country flocked to him on his travels through Nandi and Singatoka today. This is the proposed party leader's second day in the West aboard the iconic blue bus as he moves around the country collecting signatures to register the proposed Fiji First party for the September 17th election. Akusita Tale reports on the overwhelming public support.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Hundreds flocked to the Nandi market early this morning as Vorenge Frank Bainimarama and his blue bus made its first stop in the jet-set town. The huge crowd gathered to show their support and welcome the proposed Fiji First Party.
There has never been much developments done for the past years, and we thank this Prime Minister as he has improved our roads, provided shelter, and the Nanganda people are happy about this.
His next stop was at the chiefly village of Visesei, where he was greeted by Momo Lebuna Tuivunda, Ratu Eparama Tavaingia. A traditional Yangona ceremony and a dere was also performed to welcome and show support to Bainimarama and his proposed party.
And we wish him all the best in his campaign, which is going to be next month, I believe.
Bainimarama confided to FBC News the overwhelming support in the West has given him more than 5,000 signatures. This has given him confidence to continue his visit around the country.
We've just returned from Chief Lebunda of Visesei. The Turanga Tuivunda has given his endorsement for the party, which is very encouraging for my proposed party. But what I wanted to do is just continue with going out into the rural areas, especially here in Mitilevu and Wonolevu.
Bainimarama also visited Natandola before returning to Nandi to collect more signatures this afternoon. He's expected to visit Saunaka village this evening before getting back to official business as Prime Minister to open a new nursing station in Ba tomorrow. Akusita Tale, FBC News.
The Attorney General's office says NGOs need to seek permission from the Electoral Commission before they can undertake voter education programs. Under Section 115 of the Electoral Regulations, it's unlawful for any person, entity or organization receiving funding or assistance from foreign government, intergovernment or non-government organizations or multilateral agencies to engage in, participate or conduct any campaign, including debates, public forums, meetings, interviews, panel discussions or publishing any material related to the elections. Subsection 2 states it is also illegal to undertake any act which is assigned to the Electoral Commission or supervisor unless authorized in writing by the Commission or the supervisor. Attorney General Aisaid Qayyum says the decree doesn't place a blanket ban on NGOs.
The Electoral Commission is the one that is responsible for voter education, but I'm sure the Electoral Commission would not mind partnering with various NGOs because a lot of them do get a lot of funding. But heaven forbid that if you let them loose and they have a particular agenda, they can actually go out to the rural areas and tell people the wrong thing. So this is why the education material needs to be sanctioned by the Electoral Commission. So that's precisely the reason why that provision is there. So they can do that, of course. they need to talk to the Electoral Commission. But in respect to some of the other material, I mean, obviously that's why those restrictions have been placed, and they need to, read the law.
Representatives from the Fiji Women's Crisis Centre, the Citizens Constitutional Forum and the Fiji Women's Rights Movement have met with the AG's office on the matter. The Fiji Police Force is working with Interpol to determine if there's a hard drug smuggling ring in Fiji. Chief of Operations ACP Rusiate Tundravu says recent discoveries point to the possibility of a local hard drug industry. Vosito Kotaiwasawasa reports.
Police are trying to ascertain whether Fiji is being used as a transit point for the movement of hard drugs.
It can be either a transit point for transportation to other neighboring countries, or we can also not rule out that there are people that are here in Fiji who have relations with people abroad doing trading and marketing on these drug issues. So those are the two areas that investigation is covering.
Border officers and police have recently gone through increased training to identify hard drugs better than before.
The substance they see, and they are trained to identify at least on the first glance, and then it is confirmed through other apparatus that are there, especially our enlisted that are working on, who can confirm that.
Tundravu says they are closely working with Interpol to confirm whether Fijians are used as part of this illegal and dangerous business.
The investigation is trying to uncover all these areas, whether we have people that are here who are marketing all these illicit drugs. So once the investigation has uncovered all these angles, then we should be able to identify those and what is the idea or the agenda behind, whether it is they are trading with it, marketing, or it's just for the purpose of consumption, or they are just here just to transport, just be a middleman in terms of getting it from abroad and then transporting it out as a transport.
Police are warning those involved in the trade of illicit drugs that they will face the full brunt of the law. The force says investigations involving those in Fiji has widened as it works to ensure that our borders are protected from hard drugs. Vasita Kotewasawasa, FBC News.
The Ministry of Health has introduced an initiative that will see nurses become better qualified in specialized areas. The intent is to bring local nursing service standards up to par with other countries. Savara Tamboa has the story.
After numerous complaints received about poor performance and service delivery at hospitals and health centers, the ministry is looking at ways of improving this situation.
I think they are not delivering the service as we are expected of them to do, because when we go to the hospitals, we sit there for long hours.
No, I don't think their type of service is really up to date.
Nurses will now be trained in specialized areas with the help of retired counterparts. Experts from overseas are also expected to assist so that nurses can improve service delivery in a professional way.
We have actually invited some nurses from New Zealand, FNA New Zealand. They are affiliated member of the Fiji Nursing Association, and they are our very own that we would like them to be assisting the nurses of Fiji now in moving forward in this specialized area.
So I think this would improve their service delivery to the public.
It's a milestone achievement for the nurses in Fiji.
Nurses will also recommend issues that is needed to improve the standards of service delivery. Once they are fully recognized as specialists in their areas, codes of conduct and scopes of practice will be put in place. Sawaira Tambua, FBC News.
Coming up, Hindus celebrate Lord Rama's birth.
Old on Tower में it's only Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM is hot.
बाके हर घर में खाली मिर्ची FM बजे. Mirchi FM is hot.
Best sound, best music. Mirchi FM rocks in Rugby.
नानी का #1 station है Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM is hot. Mirchi FM it's #1 in Nursery.
Mirchi FM is hot. हम लोग Mirchi FM रोज सुनता है. Mirchi FM जागो मामा. Mirchi FM it's hot.
talita na radio Fiji One na mwira ni nondo bonua.
Ando talita kana borro na radio Fiji One singa toka boleta ni station ni alumatu.
Ando talita ka bole una borro na radio Fiji One station ni alumatu ilo toka.
Ando talita ka bole una borro na radio Fiji One mandi na station ni alumatu.
Au tungo korbo ando borro mo leve na station ni alumatu na radio Fiji One.
Do borro na radio Fiji One na station ni alumatu na mandoi tele.
Welcome back. This is FBC News. Fiji and Papua New Guinea are on the verge of creating history yet again with the possible forging of another relationship between provinces from both countries. Mika Longa reports this latest initiative could see more social and economic exchanges taking place between the Melanesian countries, particularly at a provincial level.
With a population of close to 500,000 people, PNG's East Sepik province is following the Gulf province, which has sealed ties with the Fijian province of Mba. This followed a visit to East Sepik by our High Commissioner to Papua New Guinea, Romanu Tikutikoda.
It was the first time ever as well for a Fiji High Commissioner based here in PNG to visit the province of East Sepik, despite the long-standing relationship that East Sepik and Fiji has during the days of the founding father of Fiji, the Prime Minister, Honorable Sir Kamisa Sumara, and Grand Chief Sir Michael Sumara over the last 40 years.
East Sepik's economy is mainly based on agriculture through the sale of cocoa and coffee, with some revenue also earned through tuna and gold sales. The province's Governor Grand Chief Sir Michael Sumara wants East Sepik to be assisted with a Fijian brass band master, a sports specialist, economic development and trade initiatives, and tips on tourism development through this province-to-province initiative.
These are the things that will strengthen the ties between our Melanesian countries, and especially for us as we look up to Papua New Guinea as our big brother.
It's a good idea because this will create much-needed jobs for the unemployed.
Meanwhile, the relationship between the Gulf province and the Vanua of Mba has strengthened after another round of meetings last month.
What we noted was that there had been some communication initially at the moment concerning importing some of the rugby league players from within the Mba province to come and play for the Gulf team here in Papua New Guinea.
Although the Itoke Affairs Ministry is yet to identify the Fijian province, East Sepik will engage with the general feeling is that Fiji and Papua New Guinea have much to learn and benefit from each other's respective experiences on mining, tourism, manufacturing, development of natural liquid gas and fossil fuels, trade, defense, and opportunities for employment and investment that exist in both the countries. Mika Longa, FBC News.
Thousands of Hindu devotees around the country celebrated Ram Navami today, a festival marking the birth of their Lord Rama. Chanel Sivan with the story.
After a 9-day fasting and prayers, Hindus today marked the birth of their Lord Rama. During this time, the devotees also maintained a strict vegetarian diet and avoided alcohol.
It is an occasion whereby people celebrate the life of Lord Rama, and it is an occasion whereby people get to learn the context in whereby of Lord Rama. For instance, like Lord Rama was he was strengthened as the epitome of truth, dharma, and karma. People learn a lot from his virtues, from his principles, and the reason why he incarnated into this earth. He came is incarnated into planted, and what are some of the ideals, virtues, and the principles that he left for the people.
Lord Rama's birth is marked on the 9th day of the month of Chaitra, which is the first month of the Hindu calendar.
Hindu devotees behind me are finishing off the last day of fasting, of the 9 days of fasting here in Suva with songs and dances, marking today the birth of their Lord Rama.
Today, many Fijians took out time from their busy schedule to celebrate the day at the Moanivatu Sanatan Temple in Suva.
You also look after the disadvantaged. You also proclaim, look after the poor and disadvantaged in our societies, and also to uplift their status. And also at the same time, we tend to celebrate the life and the great virtues and principles that he had enshrined in the Holy Ramayana.
Devotees were today reminded of the values preached by Lord Rama from the holy book, Ramayana. Shanal Shivan, FBC News.
Work to improve the temporary bypass on Bambavode Hill along the Kings Road will start tomorrow. The bypass was constructed to get around a landslip on the road, which occurred in February. Fulton Hogan Highways machinery is on site to start work aimed at reducing the steep slope to make it better suited for all vehicles. The Fiji Roads Authority says the Kings Road will remain open while work is underway, but contractors may need to occasionally close the bypass briefly to undertake required work. A multi-award-winning filmmaker is in the country inspiring young Fijians to produce local films. Dan Wallman today conducted a short masterclass on filmmaking at the University of the South Pacific in Suva. Josephine Navula reports.
Dan Wallman is a multi-award filmmaker, producer and director. He is in the country for the Islands of the World Oceania International Film Festival, which kicks off in Suva on Friday. Today he was working with aspiring filmmakers, sharing his experience and skills.
I've done it in other countries too. So I was invited here to the university, and I met some students who are basically would like to make films. I see them as potential filmmakers. And one of the first things that I said to them was that when I look at Fiji paintings, for example, and decoration, it's very distinct. You can say immediately, you look at it. And I asked myself, when will be a filmmaker that you will say, this is a Fiji film?
USP Faculty of Arts Associate Dean Dr. Mohit Prasad says such lessons will give youngsters a push to start making films.
So he showed them films. He gave them examples from how he has actually made films. He gave them innovative ways of raising money, but also finishing a film and then actually showing it to the community. So that's very important. I think that's the area that films in the Pacific will go.
Meanwhile, preparations are well underway for the film festival, which will feature several award-winning films.
Bringing together filmmakers from around the world. Last year it was quite successful, having the filmmakers here. And the main point of the festival are twofold. One is to allow the viewing public alternative films that we normally don't see in the cinema. Secondly is to try and generate interest in the industry with local filmmakers.
Such initiatives from the international and local filmmakers are steering Fiji in the right path towards the big screen. Josephine Nabula, FBC News.
Now with the latest from the OFC Champions League, and here's Jamie.
Thank you, Jackie. That's right. After the break, we take a look at today's games at Churchill Park. And Telecom Fijianos return home with plenty to be proud of and more to work on before the next tournament. Details coming up.
Today FM is awesome in Ba. We love you, Today FM.
Today FM rocks in the story, and I love listening to Today FM.
Today FM is #1 in Telev.
Today FM rocks in Lotaka. Woohoo! Today FM is the most popular station in Asino.
We love everything about Today FM here at Golden Point Reki Reki.
Everybody in Singatoka loves Today FM.
Today FM rocks in Ba.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
Bulan 2 saya Batolu FM, enapan 2 Raki-Raki.
Bula FM namban 2 in Nosor. Go etabo ke boto kola sa Bula FM nga.
Bula FM namban 2 Korbu.
Bula FM namban 2 Sawa.
Bula FM namban 2 Lotoka. Bula.
Namban 2 nam Bula FM memba.
Bula FM namban 2 NSR in Singapore.
Kalau tali tak ada warung nam Bula FM Lotoka.
Ali akar warung Bula FM namban 2 NSR.
Bula FM namban 2 NSR.
Welcome back to sports. First up tonight, the Vodafone Shop and Save 90 side was outplayed by Auckland City 3-0 in Group B of the OFC Champions League at Churchill Park in Lautoka. The defending champions had too much firepower.
Here on the right. Moriera cuts in, chance for Auckland. Oh, and he scores. David Kim breaking from midfield. Still going. Pinamino. Oh, and it's ended up in the back of the net. It's one. Manages to get it into Moriera. Oh, what a goal. What a superb goal by Auckland City. That's why they're the champions.
Meanwhile, Vanuatu's Amikal FC has defeated Tahiti's AS Dragon 1-0 in Group B of the OFC Champions League. Francois Sakama scored the lone goal in the 19th minute of the first half. Amikal had the services of Fijian players Esava Nangeleda, Shivam Sami and Ilai Tiatuilau.
Yeah, very happy. Pleasing result. Very, very tough game physically. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, very demanding conditions. I thought we were the better team in the first half. As the game went on, they came back into the game a little bit stronger, and probably towards the end it was an even battle. But just really, really proud and delighted for the players to get off to a good start and get 3 points.
The Telecom Fijiana side returned home this morning after an impressive performance during the China leg of the Women's World 7 Series. The team's fourth place finish has also secured its spot for the next leg in the Netherlands next month. Talenda Dakdaka reports.
Home again after a mammoth achievement in China. Among the fans to greet the Telecom Fijiana side was Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama. The team proved to the world that it deserves a spot amongst the world's top teams.
Our next goal right now is to keep on train hard, we're trying to improve on our fitness and to prepare for the next leg.
Coach Ilyas Satanivula says the team severely lacked strength and conditioning, which clearly showed in their last two games against New Zealand and Canada.
The girls have shown a lot of commitment and to come up against professional sides against New Zealand, Australia and England. It spoke volume when we beat England in the pool play, and there was sort of we did chance our arm against New Zealand and Australia, which was good to see. And the few areas that we were lacking in, and it's something that we've got to work on, and it's something that we've spoken with the girls, and they've agreed to try and step up.
This latest achievement in China will go down in Fijiana history and hopefully will be a stepping stone for greater things in the future. Chalendo Dakadak, FBC Sports.
The Grand Melanesian Red Rock side is confident it can capture the Fiji Bitter Nawaka Sevens title this weekend. Langawea-based team is focused on improving its performance from last year's tournament, where they finished with the plate title. Talenda Dakadaka has more.
Training under the scorching sun in Lami is a good preview for what's to come for the Red Rock side at the Nawaka Sevens this weekend. The team is positive nothing will stand in its way to collect the top prize.
As I always say, we always give our 100% in preparation for any tournament. We don't go there for participation, we go there to win the tournament. We always prepare to win. This tournament will be a very good tournament for us, and we will be the champion on this tournament.
The coach and former national selector is banking on the boys' strong team spirit to carry them to victory.
From what I see, our strength is our unity and our commitments. This is our strength.
The Red Rock 7th side is not expecting an easy run in the two-day tournament, but there are hopes it can win one of the country's most prestigious competitions in the abbreviated code. Chalendo Dakadak, FBC Sports.
The Under-23 cricket competition got underway at Suva's Albert Park today. The Fiji Invitational 2 side defeated Mothe by 83 runs. This is the first round of games in the Under-23 grade, with the second match to be held on Thursday.
The Under-23s is likely the two from Newcastle that's travelling down in September. Also, our Under-19 side will be facing off against Tonga in July. So there's a lot of opportunities for these players to be playing international cricket, and that's just one of the many plans that we have for the Under-23s.
That was your sports for tonight. Good evening.
An Asian Development Bank report on Fiji predicts 2014 as the year for more employment and economic activity. The ADB report says the jobs will be created from recently completed or ongoing projects like Damoda City in Suva, upgrades at the Nandi International Airport, and developments to a number of resorts and hotels in the country. The report also stated that revenue earners like tourism saw a small increase of 0.4% last year in tourist arrivals and continues to see a positive trend in tourism numbers. The ADB has also projected growth at 2.8% this year. Hi Jen, I can see you've only got one cloud on your map.
Yes, Jack, it was an incredibly sunny day with just a tiny bit of cloudiness for Lambasa, and this crept in towards the afternoon. We've got Ban Lambasa on 32 degrees Celsius today. Lautoka and Nandi are on 31, while Suva and Savusavu are on 30. Yesterday, we looked at the country with the highest temperature. Today, it's the lowest recorded temperature in history. Apparently, Vostok, Antarctica tops the list with a bone-chilling minus 89 degrees Celsius. Now, because Mother Nature needs some balance, tomorrow we'll see today's fine conditions replaced with clouds and showers. It's also highly likely that showers will continue well into the evening for Lambasa. For mariners, nothing major. Easterly winds are at 10 to 15 knots with moderate seas. And since we've got the OFC happening in Lautoka, we thought it would be appropriate to have a photo of the renowned Churchill Park, showcasing the perfect conditions we had throughout the country.
Thanks so much for that, Genevieve. Looking at the headlines for tonight, Vorenge Frank Bainimarama overwhelmed by support in the Western Division. Police seek help from Interpol to investigate 4 cases of hard drugs seized in Fiji. And Hindus celebrate the birth of Lord Rama as 9 days of prayers come to an end. This week's question we're asking, should there be price control on the rental of residential properties? Visit our FBC website to take part. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share with us via Facebook page FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply hashtag FBC News. That's FBC News tonight. We'll be back again tomorrow. Good evening.
देश की धड़कन रेडियो Fiji-2 is number 1 in Singatoka.
मैं लंबासा के निवासी, मेरा नाम प्रेम चंद्रा है। देश की धड़कन रेडियो Fiji-2 को मेरा सलाम।
नैनी में देश की धड़कन रेडियो Fiji-2।
रेडियो Fiji-2 में देश की धड़कन मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगता है।
रेडियो Fiji-2 is number 1 in Singapore। नैनी में मेरा धड़कन है रेडियो Fiji-2।
हम नन्नूपुर की रहता है और हम रेडियो Fiji-2 हरदम सुनता है।
हमें रेडियो Fiji-2 सुनो बहुत अच्छा लगे। आप भी रेडियो Fiji-2 सुनो।
देश की धड़कन रेडियो Fiji-2।